We're now moving forward to talk about the concept of motivation, and it is compounded of three subjects: alignment, envisioning, and resilience. And I'll start with explaining the concept of alignment. Alignment means that you you cultivate a life that is in agreement with your core values and purpose. And when we talk about work, and we are here to talk about the balance that you do between work and life and how you perform better in your working places. When we talk about the work we do in life, our goal is to find a work or a job that we're passionate about, that we feel engaged, that is fulfilling, that is in alignment with who we are, who we want to be, with our core values. It's not always easy, and there's of course, it's never just like a fairy tale. In each work we do, we don't always love every bits and pieces of it, but when the major thing about our work is that we feel that it's meaningful, that it's important, that it matters to us, and that what we do matters to other people, then we can feel that. And there is also another path to feeling that, and the path is through flow. I will speak about that concept later on. But I want to talk more about creating a meaningful life. And I want to introduce Professor Martin Seligman, who is actually the founder of positive psychology. Positive psychology is quite a new field in psychology, which it was founded in 1998 by this professor. It's also called the science of happiness. And Professor Seligman dedicated his life to figure out what are the components of a happy life. What is it that we do, and how should we live in order to live a good life? How do we cultivate our well-being? How do we contribute to it? And he actually talks about 3 pathways to live a good life, a happy life. One is what he called a pleasant life. A pleasant life is a life in which you feel many positive emotions. It talks about the pleasures of the senses. There are lots of pleasures in life, and many things can cause pleasure: a good meal, a nice conversation with a friend, a hug, a kiss, a movie we see, walking in nature. There are lots of pleasant moments, and a happy life is actually composed of as many pleasurable moments as you can collect. But the other pathway, which is even deeper than the pleasant life, is called a life of engagement, meaning that, again, what you do and how you use your strength in a good way, how you use your strength in order to thrive, to achieve goals, to grow, to educate yourself, to find what you should do. When people are engaged in what they do, they actually feel a term that is called flow. It's a term that was researched and invented kind of by Csikszentmihalyi. I'll talk about it a little bit later because I want to state something about a life of engagement. A life of engagement doesn't mean that everything you do is always interesting to you, but it does mean, again, that mainly what you do is important. Let me share a personal story with you. I'm a clinical psychologist, and also I write children's books, and I meet my audience from time to time. And last week I met young kids who are the audience of my books, and I told them how I combine being a psychologist and writing books. And one of the kids said, "Wow, it sounds so tiring. Isn't it hard to work so much?" And I said, it's not so hard for me because I like what I do. For me, to wash the dishes is sometimes hard because I'm bored. So when I am engaged in something, I feel better, and I'm not the only one. We all do that. The third pathway I want to talk about, a pathway to cultivating a good and happy life, is I think the most important ones. It's called a meaningful life. A meaningful life means that what we do, our relationship, how we treat ourselves and others is meaningful. That we feel that there is a bigger cause, a bigger meaning than just us and our small problems. Um, Actually, Seligman dedicated his life to research all three pathways, and he tried